fight breast cancer. Take it away, Golden Girls. Celebrating one of the greatest academic traditions in Texas for 115 years, award-winning Conroe High, under the leadership of Principal Dr. Mark Weatherly, and celebrating 129 years, the award-winning Conroe ISD, under the leadership of Superintendent Dr. Don Stockton, proudly present the legendary Conroe Tiger Band. Drum majors are seniors, Gage Hallbauer, Claudia Helbig, Justin Watkins, and Maddie Elliott. Tonight, the band presents its contest show entitled Elasticity, featuring the music of Douglas S. Thrower, Sigur Rós, Astor Piazzolla, Philip Glass, and Aaron Copland. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating an award-winning band tradition since 1929, please welcome the legendary Conroe Tiger Band. celebrate our past while working towards the future. Conroe High, a proud tradition of excellence. And now, for Conroe alumni and faithful everywhere, stand proud and rejoice in the greatest high school fight song of all time, celebrating America's greatest generation from 1947. Here is Ed Cannon's Tiger Boogie. Conroe, great students, great school, great parents, a great community. We are Conroe, Sick 'em Tigers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2015 Summer Creek High School Homecoming Coronation Ceremony. At this time, we would like to introduce you to the Homecoming Court for 2015. The first nominee for Freshman Princess is Jada Lewis Small, escorted by her father, Mr. Bruce Small. Jada is a Summer Creek starlet and loves to dance. Her hobbies include reading, dancing, and shopping. Jada's favorite subject is English, and she plans to pursue a career in journalism. The second nominee for Freshman Princess is Carla Rosas, escorted by her dad, Mr. Matthew Returning. Carla is a summer creek cheerleader and is on the swim team. She spends her time outside of school on homework and swimming. Carla's favorite subject is English, and she plans to study at the University of Baylor. The first nominee for Sophomore Princess is Cameron Flowers, escorted by her cousin, Mr. Donald Dunn. Cameron plays volleyball and is a Summer Creek Student Council member. Her hobbies include going to church, playing club volleyball, shopping, and doing makeup. Cameron's favorite subject is English, and she plans to attend Prairie View A&M for a business management career. The next nominee for Sophomore Princess is Journey Green, escorted by her father, Mr. Vaughn Green. Journey is on the Summer Creek Cheer Squad and is involved in theater. She enjoys tumbling, acting, musical arts, and she plays piano. Journey's favorite subject in school is English, and she plans to study theater at Juilliard University. The first nominee for Junior Princess is Alyssa Gordon, escorted by her father, Mr. Dennis Gordon. Alyssa plays basketball and is a member of the National Honor Society. She enjoys going to church and volunteering. Her favorite subject is English, and she plans to attend the University of Texas or Baylor University. The second nominee for Junior Homecoming Princess is Courtney Wynn, escorted by her father, Mr. Joseph Wynn. Courtney has been a Summer Creek class officer, a student council member, and is currently participating on the cross-country track team and in the varsity orchestra. She plays the violin, the piano, and enjoys reading, writing, theology, and philosophy. Courtney's favorite subject is English, and she plans to study at Rice University. The first nominee for 2015 Homecoming Queen is Mary Helen Banks, escorted by her father, Mr. James Banks. Mary participates in the Summer Creek Best Buddies Club, integrated athletics, and is a friend to everyone she meets. She is an active member of her church, where she has earned a Young Womanhood medallion for completing her personal progress program. Mary is also active in Special Olympics, where she has competed and medaled in track, cycling, basketball, and swimming. She enjoys traveling and loves to go to the movies. She travels to New York, Florida, Utah, and various places. Mary's favorite subject is science, and she plans to complete Humble ISD and the various job training programs after she graduates. The second nominee for Homecoming Queen is Canberra McGuire, escorted by her dad, Mr. Ross Harris. Canberra likes makeup and shopping. Her favorite class in school is law enforcement, and she plans to attend Sam Houston University, where she will study criminal justice. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to announce the names of the male finalists for the Homecoming Court. The freshman finalists are Drew Conley and William Dunn. The sophomore finalists are Mason Dahl and Quantel Shepard. The junior class finalists are Connor Pittman and Anthony Mayde. The 2015 Senior Homecoming Team finalists are Theo Baker and Josh Ruffin. The male winners will be named at the Summer Creek Homecoming Dance tomorrow night. Now, please direct your attention to the 50-yard line for the presentation of the 2015 Summer Creek Homecoming Court finalists. Presenting the awards to the ladies are Mrs. Wendy Bethany, Summer Creek Student Body President Jenna Polk, Student Body Vice President Marissa Cole, Leanna Mouton, Homecoming Queen for 2014, and the Principal of Summer Creek High School, Mr. Nolan Ferreira. Congratulations to all the members of the 2015 Homecoming Court. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 Freshman Class Princess is Jada Lewis. princess is Cameron Flowers. Junior class princess is Alyssa Gordon. And now, representing the graduating class of 2015 and the heart of Summer Creek High School, this year's homecoming queen is Mary Helen Blake. Congratulations, Mary, RACHS homecoming queen, and to the entire homecoming court.
At Panera, we decided a long time ago to avoid the easy road and switch to antibiotic-free chicken. That decision set a lot of things in motion. So now it's not just chickens raised this way. It's more ingredients you can trust. Which has taught us a lesson. Sometimes, what you think is the harder road
Back here live from Turner Stadium, that was the Panera Bread halftime show. Live from Turner Stadium, J.W. Smith and Forrest Cox on the call here for the second half between the Summer Creek Bulldogs and the Conroe Tigers. Forrest, the Conroe Tigers really had trouble getting things going here, back there in the first half, and Summer Creek was able to capitalize, but both teams were very mistake-ridden, and now coming into the second half on homecoming, you got to expect Conroe to come out and make some adjustments at halftime and try to at least get some points here and stop Summer Creek on their opening drive.
Oh, they have to, and they've got to eliminate the mistakes. You've seen both sides got to eliminate the mistakes. You've seen tons of laundry on the field and penalties. You've seen 3 turnovers on each side, especially the Bulldogs putting ball on the ground 3 times. And unfortunately, there were 2 unlucky interceptions by the Summer Creek defense from the Conroe offense. You know, you clean those little mistakes up, it may be a whole different ball game. It could possibly be in Conroe's favor, despite, you know, you've seen the shift a little bit with the ball on the ground. But either way, this one could finish up in anyone's favor. Still anyone's game.
Well, if you look at it right now, Summer Creek has scored 94 points this season, and they've given up 142. So their defense has shown times where they've struggled to keep their opponent from scoring. And then on the other side of the ball, the Conroe Tigers, they haven't had much trouble scoring. Last couple weeks they have, as right now they haven't scored any points, but they've only scored against Oak Ridge. They scored 6, and then they were shut out against the Woodlands. So they've only scored 6 points in their last 10 quarters. So that's a tough stat to look at if you're Conroe. You really, you have to get points tonight. You have an opportunity. You go down and you stop right here. You go down and score. You're at a 3-point game. And that's very important for them. And they're getting ready to kick off. So I think the second half is really going to come down to whichever team cannot make mistakes. As that kick is up and away, it's going to be fielded at the 21 or the 26-yard line, and going to be no return as the return man was trying to get away from it, but nothing doing there.
Well, good coverage down the field by the Tigers to start this second half. And if they could figure out, it's been a hard, despite the fact, well, let me rephrase that. The Bulldogs have moved the ball down the field all night long.
Yeah.
The Tigers have been able to strip the ball away, but not in their own territory. Let's see if they can't do that maybe on this drive or force a quick 3-and-out and get that ball back early.
So Zach Walker coming out to open the second half here for the Bulldogs. It looks like he's got Wanza in the backfield along with Jones, both of them back there, and it's going to be a handoff to Wanza, who's going to take it up the middle, breaking right into the secondary, and he gains 8 yards on the play, and that's a quick 8-yard gain. He had a very large hole instantly on the blitz because the blitzer came right through and was untouched.
That was Hayden Clark, and he almost made that play. Just Wanza's way too quick, and he couldn't hold his water in time.
So now looks like they're going to show blitz again. Now they're dropping back, moving around on defense in the gun. Got 3 backs behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be Walker going around the right side. He's following a couple blockers. He has nowhere to go, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage as those blockers kind of ran past the pursuit there on defense. And it's going to be 3rd down and 6 after the loss. And it looks like there is a player shaken up on the play, so we're going to take a quick break while they take a look at him. You're listening to TexanLive.com. Don't go anywhere.
At Panera, we decided a long time ago to avoid the easy road and switch to antibiotic-free chicken. That decision set a lot of things in motion. So now it's not just chickens raised this way. It's more ingredients you can trust. Which has taught us a lesson. Sometimes what you think is the harder road turns out to be the only one worth being on. Panera Bread. Live consciously. Eat deliciously. At Panera, we
Back here live at Turner Stadium, J.W. Smith and Forrest Cox with you with 11:06 to go here in the third quarter. It's the Bulldogs leading the Tigers, and looks like the injured player's getting off the field under his own power, so that's good. So 3rd down and 5 here for the Bulldogs. Now they're going to try to get a first down on their opening drive, avoid going 3 and out. And now they had set the ball ready for play, but there's a couple of trainers still trying to get off the field. That could have been pretty bad.
You don't want to see anybody get hurt on that side of the football.
Yeah,
at least.
especially some trainers. That's terrible. That happened. So it's a low snap. Walker picks it up off the turf. He drops back to pass, tossing it deep down the field. He's got a man open, but it's going to go in and out of his hands. That's Theodore Baker on the being targeted. I'm sorry. That's Broderick Jones on the target.
And the story continues. Just like we touched on it all game long. How many wide open balls and easy catchable balls are the Bulldogs going to drop tonight that are going to catch them? That's going to force them into this situation.
Well, you had mentioned it earlier too, that this team's young and they do have a lot of drop passes this year, and they're showing that inexperience in their wide receiving core. And coming into this evening, it's just it has been a big thing, and now that punt is up and away. It's a high spiraling punt. It's going to be fielded at the 25 and fair caught. So there's a big stop for Conroe. Now they're going to have an opportunity to go down the field. Their defense has been there most of the night. As a defense, you can't expect to stop them every single time, but only giving up 9 points in the first half really sets your offense up for success if your offense can get something going.
Well, you're right on the defense, but the 9 points, unfortunately, 2 have been 2 phenomenal plays. One actually on a drop ball that was falling right into the defensive back's hands, but that's really the difference in the ball game, are those 2 good plays the Summer Creek defense has made.
Colby Kizzy putting a man in motion. He's got 4 out to the side now. He will hand the ball off to Lloyd, who will take it near the near side, and he will gain. It looks like he gets back to the line of scrimmage before he's brought down, and it looked like there might have been a little bit of motion by the slot receiver, but they didn't call it because I guess he was able to fake it out enough to where it looked like he was making an adjustment. But either way, 2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 to the near. Lloyd out to the left at Kizzy. Kizzy fakes the give, drops back to pass. He's got guys all around him rolling out, tosses it over towards Cameron Williams, who makes the catch at the 40-yard line, takes it down to the 45 before he's forced out of bounds. First down, Tigers.
Something, JW, we touched on earlier, the mobility of Kobe Kizzy. He had guys in his face, and he scrambled around the pocket and found his man open downfield.
That's why you always, in the past few years, you've seen a lot more movement towards the spread offense and the mobile quarterback, because it buys you so much time. It really does even the odds than having your standard pocket passer Tom Brady style quarterback. He's going to fake the gives, rolling out to his left. He's going to toss it to his wide receiver. That looks like it's going to be Carlos Harrell on the catch.
Great job by Jeremiah Reese, one of the linebackers for the Bulldogs, wrestling him to the ground and not letting him gain any additional yards. We've seen both sides of the ball do a good job fighting for extra ones. 2nd
down and 7 now, ball on the 48-yard line here in the third quarter. Man goes in motion. 3 wide receivers to the near side. It's going to be a fake handoff. He's going to take it himself up the middle, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 for the Conroe Tigers after Colby Kizzy takes it up the middle himself.
Big play right here for the Bulldogs. You make this stop, and you keep the momentum in your favor, but once they start getting a little bit deeper down the field, they open up a little bit more options that the Tiger offense can run.
So now Kizzy's going to go in the pistol this time. Here comes the blitz, and he's going to hand the ball off. Up the middle will be Lloyd, who will get stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 4th down and 3. You're inside Bulldogs territory. You could either punt it here or go for it. If you punt it, you're going to have a potential opportunity to penalty deep, but they're keeping their offense out. So they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Well, I agree with this call, especially when this is Coach Walker, trusting in his defense if they don't get this stop.
So here comes the snap. He's called, puts his man in motion. That brings 3 wide receivers to the near side. He will fake the handoff. No, he will give the ball to Lloyd, who will fall down after he is tripped up. He had a lot of room to run, but he was tripped up and tackled by number 8. That's Isaiah Bean, and it is a turnover on downs as he didn't quite make it to the sticks.
Well, he had daylight. He would have gotten the first down, but a great play by Bean on the right side to just kind of nip those ankles and force that stop.
So that's the turnover on downs, and Conroe still struggling on offense to get anything really going here as Zach Walker walking out onto the field with his offense. Going in a different formation now. This is, what would you call this?
3 running backs to the left and 1 quarterback. It's different.
Yeah, it's very different, and he's going to keep the ball himself after the zone read, and he's going to get brought down actually behind the line of scrimmage, so that'll register as a sack.
That's definitely unlike anything I've seen before. You saw all 3 running backs line up basically behind the left guard, and then, of course, Walker was underneath the center in the shotgun, but just something like I hadn't seen before. Both sides doing a good job of mixing up their play calling, throwing everything they can at each other.
So now they're going back to that formation they were in earlier in the first half, where they have 2 wide receivers at the far, 1 to the near. He tosses the ball towards the near side. That's going to be completed to Little, who will make the catch, and he'll be forced out of bounds at the 46-yard line. And that's going to be close to a first down, but still 2 yards to go, so it's going to be 3rd and short here for the Bulldogs.
Now, once again, here you go, another big stop for both sides of the ball. See what happens. This can be a momentum shifter in the game, even if it's this early in the half.
Here comes that blitz. He's going to hand the ball off. He's going to break free. That's going to be Jones taking it around the left side. He's got the first down and then some. He gets tackled or wrapped up at the 30-yard line, and he gets to the 29 before he's... Though that's going to be blown dead as the forward momentum was stopped.
And JW, we touched on it earlier. Unbelievable job running by Jones. He refuses to go down. That's happened all night long.
So now it's going to be 1st down and 10 on the 30-yard line inside Tigers territory. Tigers need to make a stop here, trying to keep the games close. As Baker goes in motion, it's going to be a jet sweep to Baker going towards the far side of the field. He will juke 1 man and be brought down at the 23-yard line for a gain of 7 yards. It's going to be 2nd down.
Well, Bulldogs doing a good job putting a nice little drive together, but you got to figure out a way to finish it off with 6.
So 2nd down and 4 is what they'll mark it, so it's a gain of 6. Now, Holcomb lined up in the slot on the far side. He's got 2 wide receivers out to the far and near. Dropping back to pass, stepping up, looking towards Holcomb across the middle, and it's overthrown. Incomplete pass. Holcomb was inside of his man, and he had been an accurate throw, but it might have been complete, but the defense was able to get to Walker, and Walker was hit as he was throwing.
And you've seen Conroe, we touched on a little bit ago, they're dialing up that pressure. They're trying to get back there to Walker as much as they can.
So Walker, he's got 4 wide receivers again. Waiting for the snap, dropping back to pass. He's under a little bit of pressure, but he throws the ball over the middle and completes the pass. And that looks like it's Holcomb making, no, it's not. It's going to be Demarius Little making the catch for the first down. That'll move the sticks. They're on the 20-yard line now. Sorry, correction, they're on the 16-yard line.
On the reception, move the chains, 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Waiting for the snap is Walker. He will hand the ball off to Jones, who takes it up the middle, almost uncontested for a gain of 8 yards before he's finally brought down. And now they're very close. It's going to be 1st down and goal from the 6-yard line. And for Conroe to have a chance here, they have to make a stop. 4 chances to get in the end zone from 5 yards out for the Summer Creek Bulldogs. Here we go. Dropping back to pass, looking left. Fade route over towards the corner of the end zone. It's going to be overthrown, and he was targeting Chris Augustine.
Really, he didn't have a whole lot of pressure. He kind of had one man to beat up the middle, but I really don't like how Walker tried to rush that throw. Is maybe give that ball another 2 seconds, and he's wide open in the corner.
Second and goal for the Bulldogs.
So 2nd and goal from the 6. Correction, yes, it is on the 6-yard line. Waiting for the call from the sidelines from the coaching staff. Now he's got the call. He's calling it out now to his offensive line, waiting for the snap. Trips down to the near side. Here comes the blitz. He's going to hand the ball off to Jones, who's going to take it around the left side of the field. No, that's Wanza taking it on the left side, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 5. This is good. They need this stop right here.
They need this stop, but as well as the Bulldogs need this touchdown.
Yes.
Not saying you're going to necessarily bury the Tigers, but you just put more points up and you turn this into a 3-score game instead of a 2-score.
Well, honestly, also, you got to realize that with the way this game's going, a touchdown might seal the deal in this kind of game. So trips to the far side. Walker drops back over the middle. He's got a man open, and it is caught. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Look at the replay on this one. What a catch by Augustine over the middle of the field. Goodness gracious. And that touchdown is brought to you by All-Stops Ace Hardware. We are Ace Hardware and so much more. Here comes the extra point attempt. But goodness gracious, that was a catch.
Unbelievable. One-handed snag.
That was
the
all
job done any way you can.
Shades of Odell Beckham. And the kick is up and through the uprights, and that is good. So that makes the score 16-0 here. 5:11 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bulldogs leading the Tigers. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. You're listening to TexanLive.com. Don't go anywhere.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Back here live from Turner Stadium, 16-0 the score, 5:11 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Summer Creek leading Conroe. And Forrest, that was one heck of a catch there by Chris Augustine in the back of the end zone. And that's one of the better catches I've seen this year, at least here.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And like you said, that's Odell Beckham-esque, that one-handed, just using that big old palm, going up, getting it, yanking it down against your chest.
Speaking of Odell Beckham, he had one of those catches last week, but it was out of bounds, so nobody saw it. But he did the exact same thing again. I don't remember who they were playing, but I saw the highlight. He made the exact same catch on the sidelines. And that guy there's some impressive. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. As that kick is away, it's going to be fielded at the 2-yard line. That's their best kick of the night, as that's going to go towards the 20, 30, 35 before he's finally forced out of bounds. Return man getting a good return on that one. It's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Conroe Tigers.
Decent starting field positioning for Conroe. And you just saw Summer Creek put together a good drive and for a touchdown. Now, somehow, some way, Conroe Tigers got to answer back with the score of their own. It's been a struggle for them all night long. You know, they've had 2 tough plays we discussed on the last series, but somehow, some way, you got to put up something as you're getting late in this ball game. Time's becoming a factor.
Colby Kizzy standing in the gun, actually in the pistol now. He's got 2 wide receivers at the near side, and he's going to hand the ball off to Lloyd. He's going to take it up the middle off the right side of the center, and he's going to take it down to the 40-yard line. So a good gain there for Lloyd, but this has been a story thus far tonight for Conroe, where they'll make a good gain on a run, and then they'll try to pass the ball, and they'll have a couple of incompletions and be stuck at 4th and short, and then they'll be in a bad situation. So let's see what Coach Walker goes with here. So from the pistol, he's going to hand the ball off again. Lots of room to run. He takes it up the middle. He's going to get the 1st down, another gain of 5. Good run there for Lloyd again.
It seemed like he couldn't get the middle run at all in the first half, and boom, back-to-back, there you go. 2 runs up the middle, 1st down.
following his blocker up the middle. Able to get that first down. So 1st and 10, ball on the 44-yard line. 4:22 to go here in the third quarter. Waiting for the snap is Kizzy. He will hand the ball off to Jones, or Lloyd, who will take it around the near side of the field, and he's picked up and shoved back down by Isaiah Bean on the tackle.
And that was about 2 Bulldogs, Bean being one of them, just completely lifting him off his feet and like WWS size, just body slam down to the turf.
So that, but he still picks up 4 yards, so it's 2nd down and 6. Trips out to the far side of the field. And it's going to be a rollout. He's rolling out to his left. He's tossing it way out of bounds. He was outside of the tackle box. It got back to the line of scrimmage, so no intentional grounding there.
And you see Bean he continues to somehow, some way, almost every play, get in that backfield or in the quarterback's face, for that matter, of the Conroe Tigers. That's been one of the hardest obstacles to overcome tonight.
So 3rd down and 6. Waiting for the snap is Kizzy. He will fake the give, drops back, steps up in the pocket, and hit as he throws, and it's incomplete as that one goes to the turf.
Guess who that was, JW? I wonder.
I'm gonna make a guess here. Isaiah Bean.
That's exactly. Once again, every play you see him getting back there. Teams better watch out that they play, especially teams like Atascocita in the Woodlands. They've got some good-sized defensive or offensive linemen on the Conroe side of the ball, but it seems like nobody can block number 8.
So Bean disrupting the play. It's going to be 4th down and 6. It will be a punt here. Back deep to return the punt is Colby Raphael. That's going to be punted away. Up high, it's going to fall down and hit the 25-yard line and take a bounce towards the 22 and go out. So Summer Creek here with an opportunity with 3:26 to go here in the third quarter. Summer Creek's going to have an opportunity. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. You're listening to TexanLive.com. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
Like new Sierra Cruise discounted $12,400. That's right, folks. That's over 31%. And we have hundreds to choose from. Or a new Acadia for $299 a month.
Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan Buick GMC, located Highway 59 in Will Clayton. Or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com.
Back here live from Turner. Zach Walker in the gun, waiting for the snap. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Here comes the blitz. He comes across. It's going to be a free play as they mistimed it. He's going deep down the left side of the field, and it's incomplete. But he threw it deep because he knew that it was an offsides on the defense.
Offside. White. 5-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
They were trying to time that one again, as they have most of the night perfectly.
Well, they really have, and you've seen they're getting pressure somewhere in the backfield or somewhere in the quarterback's face, as Isaiah Bean's been doing on the Summer Creek side of the ball. But sometimes, you just cross that line a tad second early and you get flagged.
Well, there was one earlier that both of us thought it was a sure flag, and it was perfectly timed to the point where everyone, even on the offensive side of the ball, wasn't able to do anything. As they hand that one off, and up the middle, and it's a gain of 1, so it's going to be 2nd down and 4. So Jones takes that one up the middle.
And I'm going to put a little bit of a blue star on that one for the freshman, Jack Zielinski, the the right guard, able to open up a little bit of a running lane to give the Bulldogs a 6-yard gain.
Walker's waiting for the snap. Here comes a blitz as the secondary comes up. They fall back. Now he's dropping back to pass, tossing deep over to the field towards the 50-yard line. It's going to be overthrown as Christopher Augustine was the target on the pass.
Had a man open downfield, just couldn't get the ball to him. It's kind of been the story a little bit all night tonight. Walker's had some guys open, just not able to convert.
Well, you also got to look at it with the way that defense moved around. It might have thrown Walker off a little bit, because they came up and then they fell back into man. So they're just throwing a few different looks at him. Here comes Walker with the snap. He's going to keep it himself, going up the middle. A lot of room to run. He's at the 35, down to the 40, to the 45-yard line before he's brought down. And that's going to be a 1st down on the 3rd down play. And the Bulldogs moving the ball again. And like I said, if they can score here, you're going to have you can almost already write that one off as a victory for Summer Creek, because you got 2:28 to go, and with the way the Conroe Tigers have been on offense, if they don't get something going, they're going to be in some trouble here. So it's going to be a keeper for Walker up again, and he falls down, and he's tackled as he gets back up. But looks like they're going to give him a yard on that play.
Just as you said, the JW, time is becoming of the essence now. I mean, you're inside 2 minutes here in the third quarter, and if you could figure out a way to get this one and put together a long, lengthy drive, maybe shave another 4 or 5 minutes off this clock and get into that fourth quarter, you know, it's going to be tough to battle back 3 scores.
So 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Here comes his man, goes in motion, and that's going to be a jet sweep to the wide receiver number 82, who will take it up towards the far side of the field and be brought down at the 49-yard line. He's not listed on the roster. But number 82 is staying out there. Trying to get a name for you on that one, but as of right now, he's not listed on the roster for Summer Creek. He's still out there. He's in the near side wide receiver slot. So now they're going to check the sidelines, getting the play call. 10 seconds on the play clock. They're starting to eat some clock now. Jones goes in motion. It's going to go over the middle and incomplete, as it looks like he was targeting Damaris Little. Little wasn't able to get his head around in time. It's going to be 4th down, and that's a big stop for Conroe, as they need to make some, I mean, like I said, Forrest, they're making the stops they need to make.
And they've done a good job of that all night long, but now you just got to figure out a way to get that offense cooking. I don't know how you can do that, especially against that tough defensive front 7 for the Bulldogs.
So 4th down, here comes the punt unit. Good snap, and it's almost blocked as they get the punt away, and it falls right there at the 20-yard line. It will be fielded down to the 30, now to the 32, and that was a very gutsy call to take that ball. But he had really nobody around him. So a good return there.
And that was almost a dangerous situation for the Tigers. As you see him field this ball on the move right there, and that's a risky decision.
Well, you're down 16-0 with 42 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the way that this game is going, you haven't been able to do a whole lot. Try to make something happen on special teams, maybe throw momentum in your favor. So they'll go from the pistol. Kizzy waiting for the snap. He will hand the ball off to Lloyd, who will take it up the middle, and he will gain a yard on the play.
On that carry, number 20, Lloyd.
But really, you can't go right now to the passing game, because you're really you expose yourself to Isaiah Bean on those plays, and he's been so effective in the pass rush that if you start passing the ball around, the Summer Creek defense is just going to start blitzing. So dropping back to pass, looking left now. He's got a man, wraps him up, but gets away, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, almost back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 3rd down, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the third quarter. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 when we come back. 16-0 the score here. Bulldogs over the Tigers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to TexanLive.com.
The body is incredibly powerful. It's nimble and fluid. But sometimes we push it too far. That's when you need the strength of Memorial Hermann and our body of affiliated orthopedic specialists. With our Iron Man Sports Medicine Institute, they not only get your body back to where it was, they get it to go further. It's what makes us more than just hospitals. We are a body of experts. Memorial Hermann, advancing health.
Back here live from Turner Stadium, J.W. Smith and Forrest Cox on the call for you tonight. Here to start the fourth quarter, Bulldogs 16, Tigers nothing. Tigers with the ball, 3rd down and 10. Tigers have to get something here to stay in this game with 12 minutes to go in the game. And they're trying to find, each team trying to find their first win in 16-6A. Dropping back to pass, looking left. He's got a man open. It's going to be bobbled and almost picked off. Had that been caught by Lloyd, he would have been gone.
He had plenty of daylight in front of him, and we talked about the Bulldog team not being able to hold on to the football tonight. It's been kind of the same story with Conroe.
It really has, and it's just been there's been mistakes on both sides of the ball, and fortunately for the Bulldogs, they've made a few less mistakes, and that's really been the difference, because this has not been a clean game for either team. As now Summer Creek is set to return a punt, as that one's a way high punt down. It's going to be fair caught at the 40, and that's going to be a flag as he waved for the fair catch, and that's another mistake that you cannot make if you're Conroe.
And it's been all night long for Conroe, unfortunately, making some key mistakes on special teams, which is where you don't want to make them in case your offense or your defense makes them. This is going to cost you 15 yards.
Fair catch interference there. Conroe wearing white. So when you hear the referee say white, that's who they're talking about.
Some are a little more descriptive than others.
Yeah, and it's just it's the preference of whatever referee is calling the game. Some will say defense, some will say offense, some will say the actual team name, some will say the mascot. It just depends. I haven't heard a referee use white and the color of the jerseys in a while, but that's an interesting way to go. So, ball on the 50-yard line now for Zach Walker and the offense of Summer Creek. If they score here, they might have a good chance. That ball's going to go up the middle, and it's going to be a gain of 3. But like I was saying, if they score here, Forrest, you can pack this one up and start thinking about putting in some second teamers to get ready for that Atascocita game coming up.
And that's going to be a tough matchup for them. Of course, the Eagles 1-1 in district. They'll face Oak Ridge tomorrow at 2, but that's a crosstown rivalry game, and there's always extra emotions for that one. We know Atascocita is projected to finish top 2 in the district, so the Bulldogs looking forward to next week, and it'll be a good matchup.
So that's going to be a timeout taken by Summer Creek, it looks like. So with that timeout, we're going to take a timeout. This one is brought to you by Tin Roof Barbecue. Visit tinroofbbqandsteaks.com to learn more information. They're down in Atascocita. Some very delicious food over there. We're going to take a quick break. Well, wait a minute. Looks like they're already coming back out on the field. So, and they're running the clock.
May have been a little confusion on the sidelines. Maybe somebody thought they wanted to take a timeout and didn't.
Well, either way, quick 10-second timeout for the referees, I guess. 10:54 to go. Clock still running. Dropping back, actually rolling on the handoff. And it looks like going to be Wanza taking it up the middle for the first down. He gets brought down at the 38-yard line. Correction, 39-yard line. So Wanza on the run. Walker going under center now.
And it's different seeing them kind of change their formations around like this. And you don't really see a quarterback going from shotgun to under center just out of nowhere. But
offset I formation now. And he will hand the ball off to Wanza, who's going to take it up the middle. Nobody around him. He gets into the secondary for a gain of 8 yards.
They keep throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him. You've seen all formations, pistol, spread, trips, under center, anything you can. Make this score and really start to pull away right here.
Still in the offset I. One wide receiver up to the far side, one to the near. He's going to hand the ball off to Wanza, and Wanza's going to take it up the middle and get the first down for a gain of 6. And there's a flag on the play. It looks like there might be a little bit of extracurriculars going on over there.
And unfortunately, that looks like that's going to be a personal foul, unnecessary roughness against the Bulldogs, at least the way I see it. And that's exactly what it's going to be. Unfortunately, number 80, Kendon Jones, going to get flagged for that one. Just at the bottom of the screen after the whistle, he threw his man on the ground, and that's a no-no in high school football.
Not only in high school football, but
well,
really
you're right.
in any level of football. But it's completely, you just can't. You got to stop when that whistle goes off.
Now instead of 1st and 10, ball spotted now at the 28-yard line. Now it's all the way back to the 41. And that's a little bit of a drive killer. Now, if they can keep moving the ball like they have, maybe this could turn into good, as it may shave a little bit more time off the clock. You never know. This one could go either way.
What I find interesting is that Summer Creek right now is going with that offset I formation. Maybe this is a move they're thinking about they're thinking about implementing, going deeper into district play against some teams like Atascocita, where they might have to run a little bit more of a ball control game.
And you're exactly right. Eagles have a good linebacking core, but they've had some problems stopping the run this year. And Woodland's able to run for a fair share of amount of yards last week. So maybe you're right, trying to implement some new plays and just seeing how they work out.
Because they're lining up with a fullback in the offset eye. You got Wanza in the backfield, and then Sua, the fullback, number 46 back there. It's going to be a handoff, and he's going to go up the middle again, breaking another tackle down to the 30-yard line, to the 20, to the 15, and actually he's brought down at the 17, 18-yard line for a first down. So very good run there by Wanza coming down the near side. The blocking was there.
And you're exactly right. It was, and these physical running backs, the Bulldogs, doing a great job keeping those legs moving and motoring downfield.
Wanza continuing to stay on the field as he's had a pretty good night. It seems like Wanza's the hot hand as Broderick Jones has really been more sparsely used here in the second half. But as we were talking about earlier, the Summer Creek Bulldogs have a really good tandem in running back, so if one of them gets hot, you just go with the hot running back. And under center again, same formation, dropping back to pass this time, tossing left over towards the end zone, and it's bobbled and dropped as there's a flag coming in on the play, and that might be pass interference, as that's right where you would expect a pass interference call to be.
Just a little bit of contact right as he caught that ball, and especially in high school, you're going to get that flag drawn 9 times out of 10. It looks like...
Holding, number 3, 10-yard penalty.
So it wasn't a pass interference, it was a holding call.
But either way, nonetheless, first down automatically. So instead of first and 10 from the 20, now you're going to back it up, give them an extra 10. And that's kind of been the story all night, is flags, flags, flags. It's been a sloppy penalty game and, turnover game for both sides of the football.
Under center again, Walker handing the ball off to Wanza, who takes it up the middle, and he will fumble the ball, and they're going to fall on it. Let's see who comes out of that scrum with it. It's fumbled at the 1.
I think it's going to be Conroe ball.
If so, that is Wanza's second fumble of the night. Some of them are trying to say he was down. And they're going to give the ball to the Tigers, and that is the worst kind of drive.
You would have been down at the 2-yard line. Instead, you get your 4th fumble of the night. And credit, great, fantastic job to the Tiger defense, forcing that turnover right when you need it. Critical situation.
And this is one of those situations also where you kind of start questioning, why don't we have reviews with all the camera technology out here now?
And I talked to Lou about that last week. We said the exact same thing. Could you ever think about maybe getting high school reviews?
Well, I mean, it would probably be interesting to see how some stadiums handle it. If you got it at the 6A level, you'd want to give it to every level. But I think if you have it at the 6A levels where all the big schools are, most of the stadiums are similar to this one out here. As they're working from the end zone now, as Kizzy has to go 99 yards for a touchdown. He will hand the ball off, and it's going to be, looks like he is going to get a safety, and he's brought down in the backfield. I thought he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but no, and it is a safety, so that'll make the score 18-0. So there will be a kick coming up right after this. 18-0 the score, 9:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back, and that was Isaiah Bean on the sack backfield. We'll be right back. You're listening to TexanLive.com.
Cerna is a local family-owned business located right on Will Clayton and a one-stop shop for your home, auto, liability, and business insurance needs. Please stop in or give us a call at 281-812-9775. We're also proud to support all of the Humble ISD athletes.
Back here live from Turner Stadium, J.W. Smith and Forrest Cox with you here for the Bulldogs-Tigers game. And the Bulldogs just got a safety against Conroe. No points coming out of that drive after the turnover, but they got 2. on the safety very next play, and that was big Isaiah Bean on the tackle in the backfield. And tack on 2 points. Here comes the kick. A free kick now. 9:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. Summer Creek getting the ball back.
It's a great job by the Bulldog offense Bulldog defense bearing out their offense that time.
So the return man will take the ball at the 30. He takes it down to the 50, back to the 35, or the 40, the 35 now, down to the 30-yard line and brought down at the 25, and that was Broderick Jones on the return.
Fantastic job on the return and by the coverage team on that one.
So let's see if the Bulldogs come back out with that offset I formation they were running earlier and just try to burn some more clock.
And you got great field positioning. You got to figure out a way to score. Hold on to the football. That's the key. You got to figure out a way just to hold on to the football. You score, it's over. I really don't think Conroe, especially with the way their offense has been playing tonight, has a chance of coming back 24 points.
There's not. The way that they've been moving the ball, it would take a very huge shift in momentum. But it's not over till that clock reads 0, so that ball is going to be handed off to number 21. And that's going to be Johnson on the carry.
Johnson only a sophomore, so a bright future ahead of him. As Wanza a junior, so you'll see two of the solid running backs next year for the Bulldogs return.
So Trey Johnson getting some carries tonight. We had some carries early in the first half. As Wanza had his second fumble, so that might be all for him tonight. A lot of coaches don't like to keep guys in the game that are putting the ball in the turf, and that's going to go up the middle. He's going to be stuffed at the line. Actually, he's going to lose a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and 11 here. And going back to what we were talking about earlier with the reviews, I mean, it's really, it would have to be either across the board or only in 6A, because you've got the big schools typically have the video boards and the technology there. And you'd have to have an official in the booth. It'd have to be similar to a college-style review system, I think, or only booth-initiated reviews. That one's going to be a fake handoff rolling out to his right side. He's got a wide receiver open, but looked like well, it's going to fall incomplete, but I thought there was going to be a flag on that play, honestly.
And it could have gone either way. Both receiver and DB both making contact with each other, and no flag drawn. You know, we've seen a bunch of those tonight. Maybe glad we didn't see one more.
So now it's 4th down and 11. Here comes the field goal unit. So he's going to be kicking the ball from the 33-yard line. So it's going to be about a 44, 45-yard attempt here as the ball is up and it will fall short in the end zone. So
it looked like he would have had a better kick, but a bad snap that went straight into the ground on that one.
Yeah, looking at the replay, it definitely is a low hold. So Tigers taking over on down, 7:34 to go here in the 4th.
And I mean, you're down by 3 scores, yes, but you got 3 timeouts, and you still got some time. You got 7 minutes left. You never know what can happen in the land of Texas high school football.
That is very true. I've seen some crazy things happen. So up next for Isaiah, he's going to roll out, tossing to his running back on the dump-off play in the backfield. He's going to get back nearly to the line of scrimmage before he's brought down. And that was Lloyd taking it around the right side. Coming up next for Conroe, though, is a game against Kingwood on the 16th. And then they've got Atascocita in College Park. That rounds out their schedule. They've only got 3 games left after tonight.
Like we said earlier, it's flying by.
Kizzy from the gun will fake the handoff, looking towards his left. He's got his wide receiver, Kelly McFarland, who will be brought down in the backfield on the screen play. Nothing doing, correction. That was Cameron Williams on the catch.
Maybe a flag down, looking like it's in the area of holding over there.
52 white.
And another.
Decline. Third down.
They declined that one. They're just trying to. I mean, they haven't been able to move the ball that much. They lost yardage. It's going to be 3rd and long.
You mentioned Conroe having Kingwood up next. They have had a hard time stopping the Summer Creek run game. Well, Kingwood's got top 2 running backs in 5 of district.
That's going to be a screenplay dumped off to Lloyd, who's going to take it up the middle. He's got a little bit of room to run, but he's wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down and 12. So here comes the punt unit. Clock still running, 6:15 to go. So now it's going to be a punt. And Conroe really just never got anything going here in the second half.
And it's been tough for them to move. You know, we saw some bright spots, them moving the ball once in a while. Definitely moved the ball a little bit more this half, but it's been getting 1-2 first downs and boom, into the drive.
The problem, though, if you're Coach Walker, is that punt is up and away. And it's going to be fielded at the 36-yard line and fair caught. But the problem right now is if you're Coach Robert Walker, is your team in 16-6A play has scored 6 points in 12 quarters of football. And that's a very concerning stat if you're looking for answers on offense. With Kingwood next week with their running game, it's going to be hard for them to even keep pace if they can't figure out a way to score points. You can play a defensive game, and really the Conroe defense has been pretty good tonight. But their offense just hasn't been able to put points on the board.
Well, you know, and I saw, I believe it was one of the Texans radio announcers, I believe it was Mark Vanderbeer, used this stat. On week 3, if you were to take away the points the defense the offense has given up via turnover interceptions, you would only given up 32 points in 3 games. It's been the similar story tonight for the Conroe Tiger defense.
And that ball will be handed off to the running back. That's going to be Johnson again coming towards the near side, and he is thrown down by number 21 of the defense, and that is Marcus Sweat.
Another flag thrown down around the 50-yard line.
I think it might have been
maybe some contact
pushing
downfield.
And shoving or some holding on one of the sides. So a 15-yarder.
Face mask on that one, and if you're the Tigers, that's you've been killing yourself all night long with calls like that.
Coach Walker is definitely going to be. There might be some cardiovascular exercises going on this week in practice,
to say the least.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's inexcusable for a team to be committing penalties on both sides like this. I think Brian Ford might be looking at that same kind of motivational practice.
And especially
one day this week.
If Kingwood if Conroe wants to keep up with Kingwood and Summer Creek wants to keep up with Atascocita, they don't make nearly the mistakes either side of the football has made tonight. So you got to clean a lot of this up, especially penalties and turnovers.
Under center, and there's going to be a false start as it looked like Philip Sewer, the fullback, got a little bit of
false start
early.
5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
It's actually John Holcomb now in the game at quarterback, so they're putting in the reserves, getting them some work.
It's probably a smart move. You know,
oh, yeah.
You've got this one locked up. Give Martin a break, give Walker a break and put your backup in, see what he can do.
So Holcomb will go in the gun this time.
And Holcomb is only a sophomore.
Drops back to pass, tossing over the middle of the field. He's got his man. He makes the catch at the line, or at the original line of scrimmage. Now he's fighting for yardage. Now it's a big pile, and he will be brought down. It looks like they are going to give him the 34. I'm sorry. Let's see where they actually put it before I start talking. The 44-yard line is where they're going to mark him down. So it's going to be 2nd down and roughly 8 yards. So 2nd team in here for the Summer Creek Bulldogs. 4:39 to go. Clock winding down in this one. Summer Creek on their way to a 1-1 district record as that pass falls incomplete on the right side by Holcomb. And Conroe on their way to an 0-3 start this year, not where they want to be.
And Conroe's exactly not where they want to be, especially with two tough matchups back-to-back being Kingwood and Atascocita. It doesn't get any easier from here.
3rd down and 8 here. Holcomb will go in the offset I formation, under center. Here's the snap. He will hand the ball off. And the running back will be wrapped up. That's Trey Johnson in the backfield, and he'll lose a couple of yards. It's going to be 4th down and 11. Clock continuing to run, 4:26. Actually, the clock is stopped at 4:26. Referee trying to get them to run the clock. It's still sitting at 4:26. Now it's going. So Conroe calling a timeout, so we're going to take a quick timeout. 4:17 to go. Bulldogs leading 18-0. This one's brought to you by Tin Roof Barbecue. We'll be right back.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night, we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me. If you want a real authentic.
Back here live at Turner Stadium, J.W. Smith and Forrest Cox here. 4:17 to go, 18-0 the score. Bulldogs leading the Conroe Tigers. Summer Creek on their way, hopefully for them, for a victory. Conroe, with the loss tonight, will fall. Oh, and it's going to be a fake punt. They're going to toss it over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Fake punt there.
Not the first time we've seen that tonight
It's
either.
the second time that they've done that. I can't blame them for running it just to see if they could get it, have it run successfully before you go into this very tough stretch of games against the Woodlands, Atascocita, and Oak Ridge. But I really don't think Coach Ford's really trying to run up the score on them.
No, not at all. Just kind of see what his offense and his special teams are able to do. You know, it's been a good night for you. Try maybe a little magic and just see what happens.
Exactly. So Kizzy from the gun, waiting for the snap. He puts a man in motion, dropping back to pass, steps up in the pocket. It's collapsing around him. Now he's flushed out towards the near side. He's going to keep the ball himself. He goes down to the 49-yard line before he's forced out of bounds. And it's going to be 2nd down. And 4. No, let's say, correction, 2nd down and 5. And I think in that timeout, Coach Walker probably told his team, look, guys, let's go down there and get some points.
Just establish some pride. Yeah. Put something on the scoreboard.
That's exactly right. Kizzy's dropping back to pass, and he's going to fall forward and back to the original line of scrimmage as the pocket collapsed around him. And it's going to be 3rd down, and actually he's going to lose a yard. That makes it 3rd and 7.
Tigers will have 3rd and 8.
Well, correction, 3rd and 8. So
I'm seeing the same spot you did, too.
Waiting for the snap in the pistol. He's going to fake the give, dropping back to pass. Now he's going to step up. Lots of time. Over the middle of the field, he's got a man that was open. It closed fast, and he overthrew him.
And, you know, honestly, if Kizzy would have tucked that ball and ran, he had some daylight in front of him. May have been able to escape the 1st down.
So they're going to keep the offense out there. 3:29 to go here in the game. 18-0 the score. Let's see what Coach Walker calls up for 4th down and long. Ball at the 49-yard line inside their own territory. Conroe trying to get some points on the board before the game's over. The snap, dropping back, stepping up. He's got a man over the middle of the field, and it's caught. And that's going to be a 1st down for Conroe. Martin making the catch.
I love seeing that the offense is at least still flying around, despite knowing the ball game's probably over. At least try to put something up on the board and establish a little bit of that pride.
So Jovan Martin making the catch. Kizzy in the pistol. Drops back to pass, stepping up. Now he's got some time to run. He gets away from another man. Lots of room to run. Down to the 20-yard line, and he's put on his face. And he's forced out of bounds at the 21, so it's going to be 2nd down and 4. 2:53 to go. Clock continuing to run here in the Week 7 matchup between the Summer Creek Bulldogs and the Conroe Tigers. Kizzy's got 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. He stands in the pistol, puts his man in motion on the near side, fakes the give, drops back to pass, steps up. He's got a man over the middle. It's caught, and he's going to fall down at the 4-yard line.
And they've done a good job, especially on these last 3 plays. Receivers done a good job running routes and getting open. And the first team defense is back in the game for the Bulldogs all of a sudden.
Coach Ford's like, all right, I've seen enough. Let's stop them right here. Let's keep this shutout intact. 2:20 to go in the pistol. Here we go. Dropping back to pass, and it's fumbled, and it's on the ground, picked up by the defense, and he's got room to run. He's at the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, 50, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Bulldogs on the fumble return for a touchdown, and who else?
Isaiah Bean.
But Isaiah Bean.
Unbelievable.
94-yard return for a touchdown with 2 minutes to go. And Brian Ford putting in his first team defense and immediately turning the ball over. Touchdown, Isaiah Bean.
JW, I got to ask you, any question on who your player of the game is going to be tonight?
No, not at all.
That's the answer I was expecting. Not the first time that's happened.
I was thinking about giving it to the punter, but now Isaiah Bean.
A great job stripping that
Wow.
ball, scooping and scoring.
That was an amazing score by Bean, and that they're getting set to kick the extra point up and through.
And you're like I am. You're in shock and awe after that play. After a great drive Conroe put together, they pulled a little bit of what their defense has done tonight.
And that kick goes up and through the uprights. 2:03 to go. We're going to stick with you. 25-0 the score. So let me just mention this. That one's brought to you by All Sauce Ace Hardware. We're not going to go to break, but we want to give them their due. Coach Ford puts in his first team defense at the 2-yard line. And it pays off for him because immediately a fumble return for a touchdown.
You know, and it was just a great play by Isaiah Bean, just knocking the ball out, picking it up, and running back. What else can you ask for if you're Coach Ford, and what more can you do if you're the Conroe Tigers? I mean, you had an opportunity, and you really didn't turn the ball over much tonight. I mean, you did. When you did, it was in the air. It wasn't really on the ground. But nonetheless, somehow, one way or another, you've got to hold on to a football, especially when you're trying to score and maybe attempt to get back in the ball game.
Well, if they had scored, they would have been down by 11 points with about 2 minutes left. I mean, that doesn't put the game completely out of reach, but now it really isn't. You're down 25-0 with 2:03. You need 3 scores. If you run this back, you still might be in that area. You get the onside kick, you might have a chance. But here comes the kick as they're getting set. Isaiah Bean showing why he is the star of the defense tonight. He's been all over the field, and now he's got points. And that one's a low squib kick, and it's going to fall right into the face mask of the return man, but he's going to pick it up. He's down to the 40-yard line before he stopped. So 1:58 to go. The Tigers are going to go back and try to drive the ball down. Either that or Coach Walker is just going to try to run the clock out and get out of here.
And, yeah, well, you know, you saw him kind of go for the score earlier. Do you put in your second team and then just kind of let them work this last 2 minutes?
Well, you know, after the way that drive went, I think I'd go for the score. You got to, I mean, like I said, you've gone almost 12 quarters with only 6 points. As Kizzy's going to drop back to pass. He's under pressure now. He's rolling out. He's got a lot of room to run. He's going to toss it over the middle, and it's going to be deflected and falling to the turf at the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 10. 1:50 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Great job by the linebacker Williams breaking that one up. Just got his hand in there, able to knock that ball away.
I think Kizzy, like I said, you have to try to get some points here and have some kind of positive note to go into this next game against Kingwood, that's really what you have to do. Is Kizzy puts a man in motion. Now he's going to fake the give, drops back to pass, and he's going to roll out. Now he's got a man open across the middle of the field, and he's going to get the first down. And that was Shepard on the catch.
I mean, as you touched on it, though, there really hasn't been many bright spots for this Conroe offense. I mean, you threw 2 interceptions, you fumbled twice, and you may have had a handful or so of first downs. It's been a tough night.
So here we go, dropping back to pass over the middle of the field. He's got a man open, and it's going to be dropped by Kelly McFarland on the far side of the field.
They had him open downfield, but it's been all night long, close but no cigar on a lot of their plays tonight.
And it's not so much of an issue of not being able to connect. It's just Kizzy's just been a little bit off with his throws, and that's really reflected on the passing game. But they've had men open. So Kizzy, 2nd down and 10, drops back to pass, tossing over the middle. He's got Cameron Williams on the catch, who breaks a tackle, takes it down to the 5-2, and touchdown, Conroe, and that's some points for them. 1:17 to go. 6 points on the board for the Tigers. There is no shutout here at Turner tonight. And if you look at the replay, Cameron Williams wanted that touchdown, and he got it.
Great job of them at least marching down the field and scoring, and great job with Cameron Williams staying on his feet and making that play.
So here comes the extra point attempt. And the kick is up and through the uprights. So 1:17 to go here in the game. 25-7 the score. Bulldogs leading the Tigers. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. That one's brought to you by Allsoft's Ace Hardware. We are Ace Hardware and so much more. Don't go anywhere. 1:17 to go.
All Spas is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But All Spas is also a boutique featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, All Spas is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. All Spas is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Back here live at Turner Stadium. Summer Creek leading Conroe 25-7 after Conroe gets the touchdown pass from Zach Kizzy to Cameron Williams. And now, if you're Conroe, what do you think? You kick it deep and give them the ball and say, okay, we got our points, let's go home, or do you onside kick it and see what happens?
I think you at least got to maybe just try one time. It doesn't hurt to see what happens. Summer Creek expecting an onside kick. The Conroe's kicker set back deep, about 15 yards off the ball, so we'll see what happens.
All right, so here we go. It looks like it is going to be an onside kick, as that one's going to go low and jump high, and it's going to be picked up and caught by Raphael, and that one almost fell into the hands of the Conroe Tigers there. And then if they had gone down and scored, we might have been sitting here wondering what could happen. But now it's going to be Summer Creek getting the ball. 2 timeouts for the Tigers. That should do it. There should be a couple of kneel outs. We'll be going home.
And it's been a good night for Summer Creek, and I think you've really got a shot next week against Atascocita, especially with the way Bean's been playing. And you just got to clean up the mistakes. You cannot put the ball on the ground 4 times against the Eagles. They will take advantage of those opportunities.
I think if you're Coach Ford, you really have to emphasize playing a clean game next week against the Eagles, because that's a big game. They are the home team, but it's going to be played here at Turner, and he kneels that one down. So Summer Creek will move to 3-3 on the season, 1-1 in 16-6A, still keeping their playoff hopes alive. Conroe 0-3 in 16-6A and 3-4 on the season, and they're not mathematically eliminated, but they'd have to have a huge turnaround to really get back into any kind of playoff discussion for them, and they're having not the season they would like to have. So 44 seconds on the clock. It should be one more play, and we'll be getting out of here. The Conroe Tigers not even bothering with timeouts. So my player of the game, as we talked about, definitely Isaiah Bean with that soup and score, and the several different plays in the backfield. He had a couple sacks. He was all over the place, putting pressure on the quarterback.
Well, the nice part about Isaiah Bean, and I'm going to compare him to one Jadavion Clowney that's a linebacker for the Texans. You see him covering guys. You see him blitzing off the edge. You see him down as a lineman. You see him go get a punt. He does everything out there that you could possibly want, and he's a go-getter. There were so many times tonight they had to put 2 guys on him, or even 2 offensive linemen plus the running back just to stop him. He's got to be listed at least 6'5" on there.
Yeah, and it was really Isaiah Bean tonight that really made the difference on defense. I got to hand it to Summer Creek. They go to 1-1 on the season in 16-6A, 3-3 overall. Conroe falling to 3-4, 0-3 in 16-6A. Still trying to find that first win. Your final score here from Turner: Summer Creek Bulldogs 25, Conroe Tigers 7. For Forrest Cox, I'm Jay Beacon, and don't forget to tune in to the Fox Weekend, and don't forget to tune in to the Fox Weekend, and don't forget to tune in to the Fox Weekend, and don't forget to tune in to the Fox Weekend, and don't forget to tune in to the Fox